Vola angwela o veteronugu, ako itabua. Ako do talitain na barong na Bula FM, nambanduan na sere.
Bula, alang gonoa, ilutoka do talita ka ng Bula FM berarti ni nambanduan na sere.
Ni Bula binaka, nanreking ko sa Bula FM nga, nakasi.
Nalang go sa mundo achieve ng Bula FM nambanduan na sere nusuri.
Ni Bula binaka, nalang go Jerry.
In the news tonight, Wailanda businesses face high risk of chemical spillage. More rain forecast, Fijians told to prepare. And Thautata villagers stranded due to floods.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Future flooding in the Wailanda Industrial Subdivision will pose a high risk of chemical spillage. This as AChem Limited, a chemical distributing company for agricultural purposes, nearly had its supplies exposed to flooding due to overnight rain. Apanisa Wangarandovo reports some businesses had floodwater flowing onto their properties due to a blocked culvert.
Flooding has been a challenge for businesses in the Wailanda Industrial Subdivisions for many years. Only now they fear that in future they might not be able to protect their products.
We do sell hazardous chemicals, and including fertilizers and cleaning chemicals, but it's all part of stock, so it's a big risk.
A concrete factory nearby is already taking a loss as raw materials were water damaged overnight.
Stocks have been damaged, and yesterday's flooding, we had a problem with our testing compression machine, which is costing us about $20,000 for that.
Some residents in the Wailanda area didn't send their children to school today because of flooding caused by the blocked culvert.
Children couldn't go to school when it's flooded. And when it rains or small or what, all the area is flooded.
Some business houses say they have had talks with the Lami Town Council and the FRA regarding the blocked culvert and have been told it will be replaced. Meanwhile, attempts to get comments from the Lami Town Council were unsuccessful. Flooding situation here in Wailanda Lami hasn't changed in a long time. Residents and businesses can only hope that responsible authorities will take action. Apanisa Wangarandovu, FBC News.
Residents living in flood-prone areas along the Suvanau-Sori corridor have taken precautionary measures as more rain is in the forecast. Drains and rivers overflowed after yesterday's continuous heavy downpour, and the people are fearing for the worst. Kritika Kumar reports.
The flood is about from there.
Flooding is nothing new for these residents in River Road, Narere, and 54-year-old Urmila Devi says they were on standby to assist neighbors and move to the evacuation center if needed.
Thanks to everyone that all we know that each other have flooding areas. We are watching who has got a big flood around their home, so we can help.
Devi adds the police officers visited the area during the daytime yesterday and advised members to contact them if they needed help. Koronivia is another low-lying area which floods after heavy rain. This road, used by more than 4,000 residents of Koronivia, Nakai Congo and Lukia, gets easily flooded during heavy downpour.
When heavy rain this side in Koronivia, so this side is always flood. It's very hard to the people to go cross, for the people staying down here in Lukia.
Meanwhile, around 20 people are taking shelter at Nandera Methodist Church Hall in Nasinu since yesterday. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Close to 1,000 people living along the Thautata Village Road in Tailevu were affected by the heavy downpour in the Central Division. Many students and workers were stranded and could not attend school or work as the road was under floodwaters. Ali Kimbia with the story.
This was the scene at the Thautata Village Road this morning. The heavy downpour experienced yesterday and today have kept people indoors.
The heavy rain from yesterday, and it wasn't like this, but it continued last night. This morning we woke up and we couldn't go anywhere because of the water level, and it affected us.
When FBC News arrived at the scene, some people were still trying to cross the flooded roads. For some of the villagers, this is an issue they face whenever there is heavy downpour.
Whenever there is heavy rain, students in this area don't go to school, and this is a major concern for us because this is an ongoing problem which has really impacted us.
Apart from the village of Dautata, the feeder road is also used by the village of Watoa and Waidoka. All the three villages are hoping that the weather will normalize in the coming days so that normal services will resume in this area. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Kritika Kumar joins us live now. Kritika, what is the latest update from the Roads Authority and the Fiji Meteorological Services?
Jackie, the Fiji Roads Authority had earlier today confirmed that 13 roads in the Central Division are closed due to flooding. Some roads in the Northern Division and Koro Island were also affected due to the flood. The FRA is urging public to take precautionary measures and adhere to the advisories from relevant stakeholders. On the same note, Jackie, the Education Ministry is urging parents, guardians and school heads to look after the well-being of students as more rain is in the forecast for tonight. Flooding or landslides may occur due to continuous heavy downpour, so you may want to take precautionary measures. We will have more on this in our weather segment, so stay with us. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Kritika. One evacuation centre has been activated at the Nandera Methodist Hall in the Central Division, with 20 people being housed. National Disaster Management Office's Acting Director Lithiana Bainimarama says the divisional and district emergency operations centres have been activated, with the Ministry of Health on standby as well to respond to affected communities. Bainimarama is advising the general public to remain vigilant.
The public to take extra precautionary measures, especially with the high saturation of soils with the continuous rain that we've been having, just to be wary of road surfaces washed away, flooded roads, flooded footpaths, as well as landslides that could occur.
A new wastewater pump has been installed in Suva following a sewage overflow in some streets after continuous heavy rain. The Water Authority has confirmed the heavy downpour caused influxes into their sewage line, leading to the spillages. Spokesperson Penny Schutz says their wastewater team have since rectified the issue. Retailers on this street have often complained about waste spillage.
We have stepped in to place a newer and bigger size wastewater pump at one of our pump stations in Suva, so it will be able to receive and pump out the flow which is increased, which is a mixture of stormwater and the wastes that are coming in from businesses and restaurants within the Suva city area.
Up ahead, millions involved in suspicious transactions. And FCCC warns of hefty fines. Details after the break.
Bula, I'm Miri, I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Hi, my name is Fiona from Tavua and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
A 65-year-old man is dead after he was struck by a taxi last night. The incident occurred in Nanuku Rakiraki after 6 p.m. The victim, who is also from Nanuku, is alleged to have been standing in the middle of the road when the accident occurred. He was rushed to the Rakiraki hospital and passed away late last night. Meanwhile, a 12-year-old student of Korombamba Nambitu in Tailevu, who allegedly jumped out of a moving vehicle, passed away over the weekend. Police say the victim was a passenger in a carrier driven by a 45-year-old man from Lomai Nassau village when she allegedly jumped out of the vehicle, sustaining serious injuries. She was admitted at the CWM hospital and passed away on Saturday. $78.8 million worth of suspicious transactions were reported to the Fiji Financial Intelligence Unit last year. Association of Banks Chair Rakesh Ram talked about the figures during his presentation on their 2018 annual report to the Standing Committee on Economic Affairs. Catherine Krishna reports.
Monitors market conditions to maintain...
Sharing of personal data is very risky. However, many people continue to do that.
Customers still share cards and PIN numbers to each other. They don't update the system regularly, and they do not change the internet passwords on time.
Past trends have shown that criminals are getting smarter, are more sophisticated and better equipped.
We've got an environment where the criminal elements are growing day by day, We can create all kinds of awareness, we can have all kinds of system, but if the customers are not really playing their role, then they are really exposing themselves in terms of risk.
HFC Bank's head of operational risk and compliance, Jitesh Nair, says they are keeping a close eye on suspects.
As the responsibility of the bank is to ensure that one, when we establish the relationship with the customer, to fully understand the customer's profile in terms of occupational details, business details, and at the same time, what would be the expected account activity going forward.
The association says some people knowingly carry out financial transactions from unsecured sites and fall victim to frauds. People are also being advised not to share their personal data with strangers. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
The Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission has once again sent out a warning to businesses to expect hefty fines if they continue to engage in unfair trading. The warning comes after FCCC received more complaints about poor quality of meat sold in a certain supermarket and misleading advertising by some businesses. Koroi Tandulala reports.
The FCCC believes penalizing traders with hefty fines should be a deterrent. However, some businesses continue to ignore the warnings.
Previously, FCCC would fine businesses 3,000, 5,000, 2,000. We found it wasn't enough, so we increased the penalties, Now the penalties for body cooperatives, 50,000, 100,000, $1 million, 10 years imprisonment. So because of that, you now find that even for a 50-cent breach, you have the courts imposing a 20,000 penalty.
The consumer watchdog is currently carrying out community visit as the festive season nears.
We do go out and conduct workshops with consumers. We do awareness in schools, we do community visits, we do mobile units so that we can advocate and empower our consumers so that when they are out there in the marketplace, they can make good choices and get better deal for their money.
A prominent business was fined $20,000 for misleading representation, and the FCCC officers are currently on the ground to ensure their message and services reach as many Fijians as possible. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
As part of the Fiji Day celebrations, government officials from assistant ministers down will visit 12 orphanages. Permanent Secretary for Defence Manasseh Lesuma says while this is done every year as part of the Fiji Day celebrations, this year they have included more institutions. There are 6 homes in Suva, 5 in the Western Division and 1 in Lambasa.
And we've actually identified another 6 this year throughout Fiji, in the west here in Suva, and likewise with the eastern. So we are hoping that through the program, through the organizers, we should be able, again, like in previous years, visit these orphanages and make a difference in their lives to celebrate Fiji Day with them.
And now Kelly joins us with the latest from business.
Thanks, Jackie. Coming up after the break. More women and youth consider pearl farming. And in growing Fiji, farmers benefit from mechanical harvester. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nandi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatulalo Bagh. और हम सब मिर्ची FM सुनता है because it's hot.
Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's #1.
हमारा नाम सागर रेड्डी है. हम लोग स्कूल में, हम लोग घर में और
Leading business, more women and youth of Vanua Levu are showing interest in Mabe pearl farming, which in turn is helping them improve their livelihoods. A meeting of stakeholders was held in Savu Savu recently aimed at helping the farming groups sustainably manage their resources. Eleanor Turangavi reports.
While the cultured pearl industry in Fiji is still developing, it is now considered large enough to support livelihoods in our rural and remote communities.
We have more rural communities involved not only in speck collection program, but also in the production of Mabe and mother of pearl handicrafts.
The partner community meeting comes under the Fisheries Pearl-based livelihood project by the Australian Centre for International Agricultural Research, which looks at the collection of pearl oysters, production of Mabe pearls, and the production of pearl shells and Mabe pearl handicraft for domestic sale.
Given the time that is required, the resources required,
it's good return for that effort. That's why 12 Fijian communities are doing that, with potential for more communities.
7 of the 12 community groups are in Vanua Levu, one of which is the Navatundu pearl farm in Ravi Ravi Madhwata.
Last year we did another deploy. We deployed oysters implanted was 1,240. In that oysters, there is 3 mabi. So we just take 2 mabi in each shells. So it gives us the total of 2,480 mabi.
Income generated from the sales of the pearls have been used in the construction of village halls, purchase of village trucks, building a new shop, assisting school children, and reinvesting in pearl farming materials and infrastructure. Eleanor Turangaiviu, FBC News.
And Sinifa from HFC Bank joins us with more from the money market.
Let's look at the latest in the forex market. Optimism for the Kiwi strengthened after New Zealand's government unveiled a bumper fiscal surplus today. Crown accounts released showed the government's surplus rose by $2 billion to $7.5 billion in the last fiscal year. That's $4 billion higher than expected. Meanwhile, the US dollar found support while investors waited for an outcome from the Sino-US trade talks. Deputy-level meetings between US and Chinese trade negotiators began yesterday. The greenback gained overnight as risk aversion and low expectations for a big breakthrough drove trade-exposed currencies such as the Aussie and Kiwi lower. Moves today were slight as currency markets find themselves in a holding pattern. Traders are looking to news from the discussions and a Chinese service sector survey to drive sentiment. That's all for now from HFC Bank, Vinaka.
Thanks, Sinifa. Here are today's exchange rates as set this morning. The Fiji dollar rose against our 2 major trading partners, making gains on the Aussie and the Kiwi dollars. It also rose versus the Japanese yen, but declined against the other currencies we cover. Onto the commodities market. Oil prices went back on the rise, passing $53 per barrel. Gold dropped more than $18 to $1,489 per ounce. And silver closed down at $17.35 per ounce. In growing Fiji, the Sambeto Lomolomo Combined Cane Farmers Cooperative Limited has been praised by the Ministry of Sugar. This is after the cooperative members purchased their own mechanical harvester in order to address labor shortages. Philippe Nekasu reports.
It was definitely good news for the Sambeto Lomolomo Combined Cane Farmers Cooperative, as the issue of manual laborers will now be a thing of the past.
For the farmers of Lomolomo and Sambeto, your harvesting problem is solved. You have a machine here. So I urge you to turn all these idle lands into wearable lands by planting more sugar canes, so that we are able to produce, we are able to bounce back where we were. Once this industry was the backbone and now it's on its knees. So we need to get up and go back up again here. The harvesting issue is solved.
The mechanical harvester, which cost around $300,000, has proved very useful over the past few months.
I also face difficulties during harvesting season. It's easy to plant the cane and grow. But when it comes to harvesting, then there's a lot of problems we face.
You treat this cooperative of yours as a business, not limiting to only sugarcane farming. You can get into more implements of modern implements that we have been sussing out by the same company of case. You talk about boom sprayers, you talk about fertilizer applications, and these are the things make your life easier.
The cooperative members have harvested around 10,000 tons of cane using the new harvester so far. Philippe Nekasu, FBC News.
And that's it from Business Tonight. Sports is up next with Jamie.
Thanks, Kelly, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, flying Fijians gear up for Wales. And a winning start for Men in Black at IDC. There's some more coming up.
Navango merea maramani waya manatu sawa aweti kitunde nandi ya ndo marataka na varonga na Radio Fiji 1.
Yawa asna vatili yawa mara Monica.
Tonto barrongo vale bunar domai biti lambasa.
Bula nadango aprosa nangarse, go erkraki. Do televe ono barrongo na radio Fijuan, na domai biti. Nadango chane bukia, ngoni na mosi. Am do teleta kana barrongo na radio Fijuan.
There's a reason behind Flying Fijians head coach John McKee opting for William Mata to start at number 8 ahead of Pedeli Yato against Wales tomorrow. As Aquila Dama finds out, McKee wants Fiji to have a strong finish against the Dragons.
Playing against Georgia was always to limit his game time in that game. But you know he's came through that game with no further problems, and you know he's been training really strongly this week, so you know he gets his opportunity in the starting group, and you know we're looking for Pethali Yato to have a big impact off the bench.
The win against Wales in 2007 is history, but it does not take away the fact that we have the players to achieve the same feat.
We take some confidence from our history against Wales, but at the same time we know the history doesn't mean anything if we don't put in the performance on the weekend. So the players are very focused on the intensity and work rate that will be required in this game, because it's how we play on Wednesday is how we can make our mark on the World Cup.
Wales head coach Warren Gatland has opted to make just 2 changes to his starting 15 from the win over Australia 9 days ago. James Davis and Ross Moriarty called in to line up alongside the ever-present Josh Navidi in the back row. TJ Perenara's try against Namibia on Sunday is still being talked about around the globe. It's been called outrageous, sensational, fantasy rugby, and the try of the tournament. All coming from the unusual combination of having 2 halfbacks playing together and sparking some creative genius. The Australian Prime Minister's rugby league teams have arrived in the country ahead of its clash with the Fiji PM's 13. The side touched down this afternoon, boasting some of the sport's biggest names, such as Blake Ferguson, Ben Hunt, Wade Graham, Tyson Frizzell and Jake Trebojevic are also marking their first visit to our shores. The squad also includes 5 players who have represented the Australian Kangaroos and 10 players who are part of this year's Holden State of Origin series. Coach Mal Meninga says they are not underestimating the Fijians and will be looking to win on their home soil.
The progress this rugby league's made in Fiji has been enormous. We're privileged and proud to be part of it. Obviously for Brandon and his team and Adrian and his team to match up and see where they are on the scale of rugby league talent and development. So I mean, and of course the whole part of the PM's concept is around delivering social messaging around no violence to women and children.
It'll be a dream come true for West Coast club fullback Joshua Wangavesi when he runs out of the NZ Stadium later this week. Wangavesi is one of the local players who will feature in Fiji's Prime Minister's 13 team that will take on the Australian counterparts this Friday. Sabe Wanga with a story.
Savouring the moment as a dream come true, fullback Joshua Wangavesi says training with the national team has been fruitful.
Preparation has been going well. The boys are working hard. We're working on our defence because we know this won't be an easy game. Australia is a tough team to play against.
Wangavesi says this is his first game playing against Australia and he expects the level of competition like no other.
We are expecting a tough game from the boys, especially from the NRL players, but we are going to give them a good game.
We are preparing well for the game against Australia. The team knows that Australia is an advanced team and they are going to give us a good battle come Friday.
Fiji's Prime Minister's 13 and Bulakula team continue with preparations at the uprising grounds. Australia will arrive into the country today. Save Wanga, FBC Sports.
Bar started its quest for the Coach Inter-District Championship with a 2-0 win over Tavo at Prince Charles Park in Nandi this afternoon. Sanaila Wanganithakau scored the opening goal from Bar before veteran Abhinay Swami added the second. The men in black with a star-studded team had to endure a slow start and also missed numerous chances that could have added to its tally. In another match, Nasinu upset Rewa 2-1. Lami made a strong start in the senior grade at the IDC with a 7-1 win over Nriketi. Lami had too much power for the Northerners and will be a strong bet for the title. In in an earlier match, in the senior grade, Savu Savu managed a 1-0 win over Northern Tailevu. Nabo also started its quest for the title with a 2-1 win over Tailevu Naitasiri. Luis Suarez scored a sublime overhead kick as champions Barcelona climbed to second in La Liga with a convincing 4-0 win over Sevilla. The win leaves Barcelona 2 points behind leaders Real Madrid, who are on 18 points. A number of players have been sensational at the World Cup so far, amongst them Fijian Virimi Vakatawa, who has been a strong performer for the French. That's it from Sports Tonight. Right after the break in new media, check out Microsoft Surface Laptop 3. That's coming up.
रहता है हमारा नाम उमेश कुमार, हम रहता है रलेबू और रेडियो फीजी में हरदम सुनता है, बहुत पुराना गाना लगे और बहुत रोचक सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा लगे हमको।
उमेश चंद्रा और कांता चंद्रा हमारा वाइफ है। हम लोग रेडियो फीजी 2 बहुत सुंदर से सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम, नंबर 1 रेडियो।
कुमार स्वामी नायक है, गोंगो लुगू लटोका, रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे, हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
कुमार नाकाफी में रहता है, रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनता है।
रेडियो फीजी 2, देश की धड़कन।
Microsoft's new 15-inch Surface Laptop 3 looks like a sleeper. With a 15-inch 3.2 screen and simple exterior, it seems most at home when it's at work. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello to the wonderful week with lots of rain. There has been massive downpour over the last 24 hours, mostly in the Central Division. The authorities are calling for heavy downpour and flash flooding in low-lying areas. Serious damage, such as severe flooding or landslides, may occur even after the rain has stopped, so take heed of the warnings. Now in the west, showers were semi-heavy with cloudy periods. Eastwards from Pakaba to Suva, it drizzled right through the day, got heavier by afternoon with flash flooding in low-lying areas. And up north, same weather system. At sea, sea winds 20 to 25 knots with rough seas. For the tides, low tide tonight will be at 9:04 with high tide at 3:11. Sunrise will be at 5:42. For tomorrow, we might pocket some favorable weather as per the forecasts. For tomorrow's temps, after a cool night, we could have more cooler ones. Since it's raining, the temps could reach lower 20s. And looking further on to the public holiday for Fiji Day, it looks pretty decent. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, do you think the Flying Fijians can win the match against Wales tomorrow?
I think Fiji will win because they've beaten Wales already.
They have prepared well, and I have the belief that they can beat Wales again.
Yes, they can win, and they should. It is their last game, so they should give their best. It is their last game. Yes, they got a good team. They got the skills too there. They can beat Wales on tomorrow.
Fiji will definitely win this game because we have a good set of players in the team.
I think Fiji can win the game tomorrow because there are some players there, they are world-class players.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, artists have installed a realistic stranded whale sculpture fooling onlookers in Brussels. It's done in an effort to create awareness. Recapping the main stories for tonight, Wailanda businesses face high risk of chemical spillage. More rain forecast, Fijians told to prepare, and millions involved in suspicious transactions. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. Our poll question this week we're asking, do you think the quality of meat sold in shops and supermarkets should be reviewed? Visit our FBC website to answer. And our shot of the day, the crab has been camouflaged under the rocks shot by Bradley Croker at Maui Bay. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, via Facebook page FBC News and our Twitter page at FBC_news, or you can hashtag FBC News. That was the FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe, stay warm. Good night.
We love Today FM. Today FM rocks. Bulaminaka, I'm Linda Form, a student Suva. I love listening to Today FM because they play latest music and they rock.
Hi, my name is Asnate. I'm from Ba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm Makereta from Nandi. We love listening to Today FM. Here in Nandi, it rocks.
Hi, I'm Shania. I'm from Lotoka and I love Today FM and it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.